You just bought a handgun or a rifle or both, and now you're standing at the range wondering why nothing is hitting where it should. You're aiming, you're sure of it, and yet the target is laughing at you. Today we fix that. Iron sights, red dots, handguns, rifles, and the mistakes you are almost certainly making, because pointing and clicking is for video games. Let's get into it. Andrew here. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that button so you don't miss the next one.
This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only, not legal or safety advice. Firearms require safe handling, proper training, and compliance with all federal, state, and local laws. Always verify current regulations before buying, owning, or carrying a firearm.
Safety first. Before anything else, the 4 rules. Treat every firearm as if it is loaded. Never point it at anything you are not willing to destroy. Keep your finger off the trigger until your sights are on the target and you have made the decision to fire. Know your target and what is beyond it. Everything demonstrated today is on a cleared firearm. You should be doing the same if you are following along at home. Section 1. Iron sights, handguns. Sight alignment, sight picture, and the 3 holds. Iron sights are the foundation of everything. No batteries, no glass, just front and rear sight and your ability to line them up under any condition. Sight alignment. Front sight centered in the rear notch, tops level, equal light on both sides. Sight picture, that aligned pair placed on your target. Nail these 2 and you're already ahead of most people at the range. Now, holds, where you place your sights on the target, matters. Center hold aims straight at the bullseye center. Front sight bisecting the target, clean and precise. Combat hold puts the front sight right on your point of impact, faster, more intuitive for defensive use. The 6 o'clock hold, mainly for precision paper punching, sits the front sight just below the bullseye. Some guns are zeroed for a specific hold, so if rounds land consistently high or low, check your hold before blaming your aim. Biggest mistake new shooters make: focus. Focus on the front sight target, and rear sight go slightly blurry. Sharp target, soft front sight, wrong focus. On eye dominance. Closing one eye helps beginners isolate the front sight, but both eyes open is faster with better peripheral awareness for defense. Cross dominant hand and eye on opposite sides. Experiment early before bad habits set in. Section 2. Iron sights, rifles. Peep sights, AR zeros, and holdovers on a rifle, especially an AR platform. You are typically working with a peep sight, a small rear aperture that your eye naturally centers without much conscious effort. Think of it as looking through a keyhole at your target. Your eye does the centering automatically when you get a consistent cheek weld. The same alignment rules apply. Front post centered, top level with the rear aperture ring. Focus on the front post and let the target blur. Center hold and combat hold both translate to rifle shooting as well. Most rifles are zeroed for a specific distance. Common choices are 50/200 yards or 25/300 yards on an AR, meaning your point of impact shifts depending on how close or far your target is. We will cover holdovers in a dedicated video, but know your zero before you assume something is wrong with your aim. Section 3. Red dots, handguns. Presentation, astigmatism, and why fundamentals still matter. Red dots change the game, but only if your fundamentals are already solid, and that caveat matters more than most instructors let on. The idea sounds simple. Look through the window, place the dot where you want the bullet to go, press the trigger. No front to rear alignment required. The dot is the sight picture, but that simplicity is deceptive. A red dot removes one variable, sight alignment, while exposing every other one. Grip, stance, trigger control, consistent presentation, all things iron sights can partially mask, an optic can't. Most new red dot users struggle with the draw. Come up sloppy, and the dot won't be where you expect. You'll waste time fishing for it under stress. Dry fire your presentation until the dot appears in the window every single time you raise the gun. Not optional, that's the entire skill. For aging eyes or vision issues, red dots are a genuine game changer. No more. Focusing on both the front sight and the target at once. One focal plane, one dot. Astigmatism, making the dot look like a blurry star. Try green instead of red. It tends to read sharper in daylight, and always run backup irons. A red dot with a dead battery is just an expensive piece of glass. Section 4. Red dots, rifles. Zero your optic. Use Loctite. Both eyes open. On a rifle, red dots allow fast, both eyes open shooting with minimal parallax at close distances. The same rule applies: zero your optic before you expect to hit anything. A surprising number of shooters mount a red dot and wonder why they are missing at 100 yards without ever confirming zero. Do not be that person. Also, use Loctite on your mounting screws. Optics walk loose under recoil. It happens to experienced shooters too. Section 5, common mistakes. What you are probably doing wrong. Let's talk about what you're probably doing wrong. The same mistakes nearly every new shooter makes, and most experienced shooters had to unlearn. With iron sights, focusing on the target instead of the front sight is the top error. It blurs your alignment. Unequal height between front and rear sights, remember. Equal light, equal height. Canting the gun rotates your group in a circle around the point of aim, and no compensation fixes that cleanly. Jerking the trigger instead of pressing it yanks the muzzle off target right before the shot breaks. And flinching or anticipating recoil drives rounds low and slightly left for right-handed shooters. See that pattern in your groups, and flinching is almost always the cause. With red dots, the top mistake is inconsistent presentation, raising the gun to a slightly different position each time, then hunting for the dot. That delay is unacceptable defensively and frustrating on the range. Fix it with dry fire reps until the dot appears every single time, no searching. The second mistake is expecting the optic to compensate for weak fundamentals. It won't. Bad grip, broken stance, a trigger yank all produce bad groups with a red dot, just as with irons. And since the dot visibly moves with every error, the optic actually makes the problems harder to ignore. Section 6, trigger control and fundamentals. The shot process. Consistency before speed accuracy is not just about where you point the gun. It is grip, stance, sight alignment, breathing, trigger control, and follow through all working together. Weakness in any one of those areas shows up in your groups. Once your sights are on target and you have made the decision to fire, take up any slack in the trigger, inhale, exhale, hold your breath at the natural respiratory pause, then press, do not slap, do not jerk the trigger smoothly and with even pressure. The gun firing should feel like a slight surprise. That means you did not anticipate and flinch into the shot. Release to reset, reacquire, and repeat. In the beginning, count through the press deliberately. 1, 2, 3. Speed is a byproduct of consistency. It is never a starting point. Section 7, how to actually get better. Dry fire, video yourself build the habit. Dry fire is how you build the muscle memory that live fire then tests and confirms. Present the gun from holster or from low ready until the sights or dot appear exactly where they should every single time without searching or adjusting after the draw. Do it daily, even for 5 minutes. That consistency is the entire skill. Tools like the Mantis X system, laser trainers, and dry fire magazines accelerate the feedback loop. Significantly check the dedicated dry fire video on this channel for a full breakdown of the gear and the protocol. Video yourself shooting. It feels strange, and most people avoid it, which is exactly why they miss mistakes. Their brain filters out in the moment. A phone propped up at the bench will show you trigger slapping, flinching, inconsistent cheek weld, and grip issues that feel invisible when you are focused on the target. Dry fire builds the foundation. Live fire confirms and stress tests it. Both are necessary. Neither replaces the other. Outrow, iron sights, or red dots, handgun or rifle, the fundamentals underneath all of it are identical. Front sight focus or consistent dot presentation, a grip that does not move, breathing control, a smooth trigger press, and follow through after the shot breaks. Get those right, and the target stops laughing. Next video, we are going deep on holdovers and zeroing distances. Hit like, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video.